Hi everyone, today we are talking eyebrows. If you've been here before, you will know that I have no brows. These brows are all fake. I was a teenager in the 90s and I decided to pluck all of my eyebrows out. And then in my adulthood, I decided to have lots of different forms of microblading, all which left me with no brows and a red tinge through my eyebrows thanks to horrifically fading microblading. My eyebrows are without doubt one of my biggest insecurities. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my full brow routine. So if you are interested in how I fill in my sparse and non-existent eyebrows, then please do keep on watching. So we're very up close and personal for this tutorial, and it's very, very important that you can see my eyebrows and exactly what steps I'm taking to try and fake some brows. So you will notice that I have no makeup on. I always do my eyebrows first. I just think it's really easy to get foundation, concealer, whatever mixed in with your eyebrows, and I think that brow products work best alone on their own on your face. So I would definitely encourage you to start with your eyebrows first. And it's very important to start this tutorial by saying you are never going to get your eyebrows absolutely identical. I mean, you could be one of those people who have a completely symmetrical face, but the majority of us do not. So don't forget the little saying that there is, our brows are sisters, not twins. So the first thing that I would encourage you to do, and this goes for whether you think you have brow hairs or not, is to dye your brows or tint your brows, because I can guarantee that you have hairs on your eyebrows that you don't even know are there, and the only way to see them is to tint them. I don't go and get my eyebrows tinted because A, I don't want to get laughed at by the technician. B, there's not much there to tint. So I will tint them at home, but there are some products out there that will tint your eyebrows and it will last for 24 to 48 hours. And they're really quick and easy to use. I was actually gifted this in PR recently and I didn't think I would like it, but actually it's a really handy product. So this is by Wonderskin. And it's actually a brow tint. And basically what you do is you pop it on your brows and then after 60 seconds you wipe it off. And it just gives your eyebrow hairs a little bit of colour. And the great thing about this is it does not tint your skin. It says that it lasts 48 hours. I've not had that experience, but it definitely lasts into the next morning. I have this in the shade Dark Brunette. So I'll just show you this as an example. So there will not be a drastic change in my eyebrows, but it will just tint a few of the hairs there that I might have missed or that I actually don't know are there. So I'll just pop this on and I literally just follow the shape of my brow. Like I said, it does not tint the skin. So it's very, very good. So I've literally just coated what brows there are there, and then I set a timer for just 1 minute and then I'll wipe it off. I've just got a damp washcloth and then I will just wipe it away. And as you can see, it has not tinted the skin at all. So that will just tint any hairs that are there that you can't see and will just help to give you a little bit more of a fuller brow. My tutorial involves using a brow pen. I know some people do prefer using brow pencils, and that's absolutely fine. The reason that I prefer to use a brow pen is because I find that the application is much more precise. And I also find that it lasts a lot longer than pencils. I don't really have oily skin, but if I do, it will be in my T-zone and that will affect my brows. So a lot of the time, pencil will just disappear on me. If you've been here before, you will know about this product. This is the Glossier Brow Flick. And as you can see, it is just a very fine tip pen. I have tried hundreds of brow pens and none of them have been as good as this. And I've seen mixed reviews on this pen, and I think that people have trouble with the Glossier brow pen because they are trying to use it on top of a brow gel or a brow wax. I think it's very important to use this pen on bare brows, on nothing at all, and I've never had an issue with it. This brow pen is absolutely phenomenal, and I don't know how many I have repurchased of this, but I think it's my most repurchased item ever. Once this is on your brows, it's not moving, it's not budging. For me, it's transfer proof, waterproof, it does not budge. It's absolutely fantastic and very, very easy to use, and will give you very natural looking brow hairs. A good drugstore alternative to the Glossier brow pen would be the new Maybelline Builder Brow. This is very good. NYX do a very good brow pen. I think it's called the NYX Lift and Snatch. I think it's something like that. It's very leaky. It's a very good pen, but it leaks everywhere, which is a shame because it gives you very fine hair strokes. But the Maybelline Builder Brow is a very good alternative to the Glossier. The second product that I use for this is a brow pencil. You can pick any brow pencil. I would encourage you to find a very fine tipped brow pencil. My favorite is the Huda Microshade pencil. I think it's called Bomb Brows, and it's a fantastic little pencil. It can give you very fine hair strokes. Maybelline do a really lovely brow pencil. I couldn't find it anywhere this morning. I don't know what I've done with it. I think it's called the Maybelline Express Brow. That is a fantastic drugstore pencil. I will pop the details in the description box below, but it's a very good alternative to the Huda. They both last really well. But we are going to start the tutorial with the Glossier brow pen. Okay, so we'll start over here. This is my worst eyebrow, and obviously, as you can see, I've got old microblading at the top here, and I've got old microblading at the bottom. Our natural reaction when we are filling in our brows is to brush the hair up and then to start filling in from the bottom. And that is how I used to do my eyebrows. I don't know where I'd seen this online, but it was a few years ago that I'd seen online that the best way to fill in your brows is from the top. And this kind of freaked me out. So I was worried. I was thinking, oh my goodness, like, is that not going to give me Spock looking brows? But actually, it is a genius technique. If you make a mistake, it's fine. We can fix it. Keep your Q-tips next to you, ready to clean up anything that you think might be an error. But you have to make mistakes when you are learning a technique. You have to. It's the only way that we learn how to do something. So trial and error. Keep trying and you will eventually get there. The best piece of advice I can give you is to hold your brow pen really gently. You are not using it like a felt tip. You are doing very feathery strokes. So I'm talking barely touching your skin. So instead of brushing your hairs up, we're actually going to brush straight or down. I know that seems weird. I'm going to just turn my light on my little mirror so I can see what I'm doing. Barely touch, and we're going to create some little hairs where the hairs should be. See how lightly I am touching? I am barely touching the skin. So we're going all on the top. We're not going underneath our brow, just on top. My old microblading goes really high up, so I'm going to try and conceal that with this. You need to just follow the natural line of your eyebrow. So don't worry if you go too high. So then I'm just going to keep following, just where the tail is. So your eyebrows won't look red like mine. So your eyebrows will look much better. Just going to come to the front and just pop a few little hairs there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to brush my hairs down a little bit just to see if there's any gaps that I want to fill in. That looks okay. You can see my old microblading hair, but I'm just going to fill in a tiny little bit of arch there. That's it. I'm not going to do any more than that. And I'm just going to give myself just a couple of little hairs at the front. Barely touching the skin. In relation to how far this way you should come and how far this way you should come, my general rule of thumb would be go from the side of my nose up, so you can place the pencil. So I kind of just do a little line there, which tells me how far out I should be coming. And then I kind of go from the side of my nose to where just under my eye, and it kind of tells me where the tail should end. I just find that using a pencil, especially here at the front of the brow, just gives it a little bit more of a softer eyebrow. Okay, so now with my pencil, I'm actually just going to bring it and fluff out the top. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do the other brow. We're going to do exactly the same on the other eyebrow. This eyebrow of mine, the microblading goes down rather than up. So this microblading was too high and this one was too low. Ridiculous, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to start very light strokes. And one tip is, if you find that the hair strokes are looking a little bit too dark, just brush it through with a spoolie. It really does soften up this product. So we're going in super fine and just very gentle hair strokes, fluffing up. I mean, when we talk about our brows being sisters, not twins, I mean, mine are not even cousins. Mine are not even related, really. Just continuing, and it might feel really alien coming so far above your eyebrow. Okay, so just keep going, even though it feels weird. Just give a couple of hairs at the front. Okay, so when you've done that, brush up and see how they're looking. With this old microblading, I actually have to cover that with concealer, which I will show you. Okay, and then I have a very sparse tail here, so we're just going to lightly fill that in and give it a brush through so that it doesn't look as harsh if you think it is looking harsh. Okay, so then I'm going to take my pen and just see where I want, how far out I want it to go. That seems okay. Just going to give some very natural hair strokes at the front. Okay, so on this brow, I'm just going to fill in with my pencil just a tiny bit of the arch there. Now, they are still looking very uneven, but they will start to look more even at the end. Okay, so stick with it. Trust the process. What I want you to do now is I want you to go ahead, go and do your makeup, foundation, concealer, everything that you're going to put on your face, and then we are going to finish off our eyebrows. So let me go and finish off my makeup and I'll be back in a mo. We're back to set our eyebrows in place, and I know what some of you might be thinking. I don't have any eyebrow hairs to set in place. You will be very surprised at what a good brow holding product can do for your eyebrows, and you will be surprised that there will be hairs there that you cannot actually see with your eye because they're light or they're quite thin and barely visible. And I've tried numerous brow waxes, brow gels, all the holding products that there are, and there are some really good ones out there. I have tried expensive ones and affordable ones, and I've never found one that is as good as this. And this is the E.L.F. Brow Lift. And if I just open it up for you, it's just a very clear, kind of waxy formula. This will give your eyebrow hairs absolute hold without feeling sticky, without feeling hard, without leaving a residue. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, I don't have a lot of brow hairs, but this just helps to give my eyebrows a little bit more of a natural looking finish, because at the moment they are looking a little bit blocky. So what I tend to do is I use the spoolie from the Huda pencil. Any spoolie will do. And I just pop it on my hand and I kind of dip the spoolie into it. You don't want to take too much product, but even if you did, it wouldn't really matter. So I'm just gonna take this, I'm going to brush it through the eyebrows, but I'm gonna brush my eyebrows kind of the opposite way. And it literally clings onto any hair that might actually exist there. And then once I've coated them, I kind of take them back in place. And once I feel like they're coated, I kind of just remove the product by turning the spoolie on my hand just to get rid of the product from the spoolie. And then I kind of just brush it through. And I know this will give a lovely laminated look to people who like laminated brows. Obviously I don't have enough brow hair to do that. Now, I know you're probably looking at this bit here, which is the old microblading. We are going to be concealing that, do not worry. So I brush them up and then across, and there you go. Very, very easy. And that will not budge. You just get them into a shape that you desire. And actually, it's very malleable. It doesn't set down hard because it gives you loads of time to work. I'm going to pick a bit more up. I'm just going to work it into the spoolie on the back of my hand. I'm just going to go in on the other eyebrow and then brushing the opposite way, brushing them up just to make sure that they're all coated. And you can always pick more up. Remember the rule that I always bang on about, you can always add more, but you can't take it away as easy. So just brushing up and then kind of across. And as you can see, like, there's a lot more brow hairs there than what you can see when without the wax. It's mad, this stuff, it's brilliant. So just getting it into a desired shape. So once you are done with that stage, then I think it's quite important to just try and carve out the brows a little bit. And I know this seems like a lot of steps, but I promise, once you get the hang of this, it takes literally no time at all because it just becomes a real second nature. So for this next step, I'm just taking my Laura Mercier concealer. This is the, what's it called again? The Weightless Perfecting Concealer. I prefer, for this bit, to use a real serumy concealer. I don't like to use a full coverage concealer because I think it can get a little bit messy and a little bit hard to blend. So my advice would be take a very lightweight, medium maximum coverage concealer, one that is quite serumy that will blend effortlessly. You don't want anything too full coverage around your eyebrows, in my opinion. So I've got my concealer and then I'm taking a brush like this. So this is just a really dense brush, which is perfect for just around the eyebrow area. So I just take a little bit on the back of my hand. I'm going to dip my brush in and then I'm going to just carve out the shape a little bit. So for this, I am working at the bottom. So it just, for me, it allows me to cover the microblading. For you, it might just give your arch a little bit more definition. And just go easy. You don't need to be applying a ton of concealer around your eyebrows. Just enough to shape them and get them to the desired shape that you want. Now the final thing to do is to just go in and have a look at your eyebrows. So you can see I've got a little bit of a patch there. So I just take my pencil and I just fill in any parts that I think just need a little bit of extra coverage. And at the same time, when I'm doing this, I am telling myself that they're not going to be perfect. They're not going to match completely evenly. I know that I have a much higher arch on this side than I do on this side, but I'm okay with that. It's not something that somebody would notice unless they were like this. And there we go. Could not be easier. It really is just trial and error, and just do not expect perfection. So that is my brow routine. Honestly, it took a lot for me to go on camera and to actually show you my bare eyebrows because I've always been so self-conscious of them. They are my nemesis. But I am finally starting to learn to accept them, learn to accept what I have, and just work on trying to get them to a place where I'm happier with them. Are they perfect? Absolutely not. Are they symmetrical? Nope, they're definitely not symmetrical. I have realized that I'm never going to achieve perfection, but I've definitely got to a place now at the age of almost 42 where I am happier with them, I'm content enough with them, and the routine doesn't take me a million years. I've kind of got it down to a T now, and I really hope that some of this information was in some way helpful. If you have any techniques or products in relation to brows that you would like to recommend, then please do list them in the comments. We would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I'm so grateful to have you here. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next one. But until then, take care and bye for now.